An Ethiopian Airlines co-pilot hijacked a plane on Monday heading to Rome and flew to Geneva. Officials say he wanted to find asylum in Switzerland. Over 200 passengers and crew members took off from the Ethiopian capital and landed in the Swiss city at 6 a.m. Sources say no one was hurt. The airport chief executive told reporters the co-pilot took control of the plane when the pilot went to the cockpit. The hijacking began over Italy, where 2 Italian fighter jets accompanied the plane.
The president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, expelled 3 U.S. diplomats from the country. The diplomats were accused of conspiracy against the government of Venezuela. The Foreign Ministry of Venezuela says the U.S. government is lying. According to their officials, the U.S. government is responsible for the violence during the protests in the country last week.
People are mourning after a suicide bomber attacked a bus on Sunday near the Egypt-Israel border crossing in Sinai, killing 4 people. The bus was carrying South Korean tourists. The bombing was the first attack in over a decade targeting foreign tourists in the Sinai. No one has claimed responsibility for the attack.
George Zimmerman is saying he has a hard time adjusting to life after his infamous trial. Many say they aren't surprised. After a string of run-ins with the police, he's choosing not to pay attention to it. He's won his freedom, but the judgment still remains. Facebook is making a change that will be big news in the LGBT community. Facebook is adding 50 new options for gender identity. Tina Lee has more.
Facebook is providing options for gender identification. In addition to male or female, Facebook offered more than 50 additional gender choices for people's profiles on Thursday. The company is the world's largest social network. This change is affecting 1.23 million users. New options include transgender, intersex, fluid, and so on.
If you give people as many options as possible, even the option to put in their own, gender or sexual preference or whatever, that, the more options you give the people, the better.
Users do not need to worry sharing their gender description publicly. They can choose who can view their custom choice.
Facebook's been around for a decade, so I think that it's just an evolution. Potentially, it could be another kind of way to say, we're moving forward. You got to get on the train.
Other social network companies like Google Plus made other options for gender descriptions already. However, Facebook says new gender options are only available in the US. For District Red News, I'm Tina Lee.
Teens are cooking for a cause through Brain Food, a non-profit organization that uses food to teach students life-enhancing skills. Ray Daniel has more.
It's an organization that is teaching young students growth development in a tasty way. Brain Food, a non-profit youth development organization, uses food, cooking, and nutrition to teach life skills to teenagers in the D.C. area. Program Director for Brain Food, Karina Gervasio, says they have the privilege every year to work with nearly 250 students and says any teen is eligible to enroll in the program.
So we're open to disconnected youth who are not currently attending school or in classes. We're also open to teens in public schools, public charter schools, and even private schools. So we are open to anyone who is of high school age.
Within the organization, there are 4 core programs that students can choose from, which are either twice a week after school or every day for 5 weeks during the summer. Different activities include hands-on cooking classes, field trips, and community service projects. Students often return to Brain Food after graduation. Gervasio says she enjoys seeing familiar faces coming back to the program and encourages them to still continue to cook beyond their teenage years.
I think for us it's kind of a vote of confidence of what happens in high school doesn't just have to end, that sense of building community and that leadership and feeling like you can come back to this place where you are welcomed and accepted and valued, it's really real. And they're going off to college and they want to come back here.
Gervasio says it's an organization that will continue to empower youth through food. For District Wire News, I'm Ray Daniel.
Prospective students are touring campus today for AU Preview Day. Today's schedule includes a tour of campus and a review of the AU's admissions process. Prospective students will also meet admission representatives. Follow today's conversation on Twitter at #AU Preview Day.
Internships are essential for gaining work experience in the field. The Career Center at American University helps students to find the right internship. Taylor Shaw has more.
Snow covers the quad at American University. Sunny days are on the horizon for students applying for summer internships. The advisors at the Career Center offer students one-on-one help with cover letters and resumes to land an internship in their field.
I think students tend to be excited, but maybe a bit unsure of the process.
Rowe works with employers to host internships for students. He also works with faculty advisors. Paid or unpaid is the question most students have to answer when searching for an internship.
If you're going to get a summer internship, definitely get something that's paid, because either that or do a part-time internship, or like a part-time internship and work, because if you do a full-time internship that doesn't pay over the summer, then I don't know, you need the money, you know.
Finding a summer internship is as easy as 1, 2, 3 with AU Career Web. Students still have time to apply for summer internships.
The number one thing is definitely to network, especially at a campus like American University and being within the DC area. You want to make sure that you're getting your connections out there and that you're stabilizing them throughout your couple of years at American.
I'm Taylor Shaw, District Wire News.
Coming up, Sochi isn't the only city with Olympic Games. See how one place is bringing curling to the local area.